Good morning, students. My name is Anjali Sharma, and today I am here to discuss with you on the topic skin related problems. So, let's proceed further and discuss the contents of the session. In this, we'll study about the types of skin, and after that, the type of skin, we have the different skin related problems, which includes dry skin, acne vulgaris, pigmentation, prickly heat, wrinkles, and at the last, we'll discuss about the body odor. Okay, so next we have the types of skin. As we all know that we have different types of skin. Some people are having oily skin, some people are having dry skin, some people are having normal skin, some are having combination of skin. And the dry skin comes under the category of the sensitive skin. Some people are having highly sensitive skin. So dry skin comes under the category of sensitive skin only. So first of all, we'll discuss the oily skin. In oily skin, they have the large pores, shiny complexation, blackheads, pimples by sebaceous gland. Means sebaceous glands are oil glands. These are present in the dermal layer. Okay, and these secrete oils and sebum, which makes our skin dry or oily due to the presence of pores. If we are having broad pores, the skin is oily because the more sebum and oils are secreted from it. If we are having the narrow pores, we have the small pores, then the average size we have the dry skin. Okay, and oiliness of the skin can be increased by different factors like hormonal factors, if we are having stress, in case of excessive heat, in case of humidity. These are some factors in which the oiliness of the skin can be increased. Next comes the combination skin. Combination skin, it is the only oily in some areas like chin, nose, forehead. Oily combination skin means it is having the combination of both. In some areas it is dry and in some areas it is oily. Like chin, nose, forehead is oily and cheek area it is dry. This sort of skin is known as the combination skin. Next is the normal skin. Normal skin has a medium level of oil and water and not shiny or oily because oil glands are not highly active. ठीक है, in case of oily skin the oil glands are highly active, super active हो जाते हैं in that case. Okay, in sensitive skin it shows redness, itching, dryness, and it can be irritated in response to certain skincare products. If you are using detergents, we are using hard soaps, or you are using any cosmetic product also, in that case the skin shows some hypersensitivity reactions. So this type of skin is known as the sensitive skin. Okay, now next is the dry skin. Dry skin, it is also known as the xerosis. It has low level of sebum present. In this type of skin, the sebum is less as compared to oily skin. What the person usually feels tight and uncomfortable in this sort of skin, and the cracks are there, chapping is there, and they're extremely dry skin if you are having, or you are having the dehydrated skin. What happens is the epidermal layer have different five. Epidermal layer is the uppermost layer and it is further divided into 5 layers. The first layer is the stratum corneum. So if the stratum corneum is having 10 to 20% of the water content, then it is okay, the skin is soft and pliable. But if the water is lost due to transepidermal, if the transepidermal water losses occur, then the skin becomes dry, and this result in drying out, precipitating dry skin conditions, and the person feels like tight, rough and itchy in that case. Okay, so what happens is it is very important that our stratum corneum layer, these layers and the structure of skin we have discussed in our last session. Okay, so in this the stratum corneum, it should have 10 to 20% of water content in order to keep the skin soft and pliable. Now the picture depicts the normal skin and the dry skin. You can see the stratum corneum layer. In case of dry skin, the cells becomes dead over here, they're full of keratin, they're squamous, okay. And what happens in this, the due to transepidermal loss, the water is lost and the skin has become dry, okay. Next is the comparison between the oily and the dry skin. You can see the sebaceous glands are overactive and they are having the large pores, and in this dry skin the sebaceous glands are not that much active and the pores are fine, due to which the oil content is less as compared to the oily skin. Now, what are the causes of dry skin? The oil glands do not supply enough lubrication to the skin, which result in dehydration, because the oil glands are not lubricating the skin to that extent which is required by the skin, and the skin becomes dry. Some factors like humidity, low humidity factors, wind, okay, cold, weather, heat, it leads to dry skin, okay. Poor diet, if you are having the deficiency of vitamin A and vitamin D, it can be lead to dry skin. There are some genetic conditions also, and if you are using some medications like cosmetics, and you are having some medical conditions like diabetes, hypothyroidism, it can also lead to dry skin. Facial skin can be washed with surfactant based products, often experienced if you are using harsh soap or you are using detergent daily. So these are some causes of the dry skin. You are not using a moisturizer. So these are some causes. Next is the acne vulgaris. What do you mean by acne? Everybody in your life, one or twice, experiences this acne. Acne, what is acne? It is an inflammation skin condition that occurs when the oil and dead skin cells block the pore opening, causing the sebum to build up inside the pore. What happens in this? The sebum is what happened. The oil and dead skin cells, they block the pore. The oil, if the sebaceous gland is secreting, oil gland is secreting more oil, okay, that oil what has it accumulate there only, and it blocks the pore, and what it do is the sebum is built inside that pore only, and it becomes acne. Or we can say that acne is a chronic disease which is caused by the inflammation of the sebaceous gland, because oil is, the build oil is accumulated in that only, and the dead skin cells, they also come in that pore and they block the pore, due to which the acne develops, okay. People having acne have larger sebaceous gland that release more sebum into the skin, okay. The people having more sebaceous gland, they release more sebum into the skin, and so they are more prone to more acne. High sebum and keratization result in the formation of plug in the pore, which give rise to the blocked hair follicle, okay. High sebum and high keratinization, what they do is they block the pores, and which give rise to the hair follicle get blocked over there. Here is a diagram which is showing the sebaceous gland. Look at the sebaceous gland, it is secreting sebum. This is first picture is the skin without acne. So hair follicle is not blocked over here, but with the acne what happens, sebaceous gland, the oil, it accumulates into the pore, and the hair follicle is blocked, and their inflammation is occurred with the skin with the acne, because the sebaceous glands are more active in this. Accumulation of sebum encourages proliferation of anaerobic bacteria, and these bacteria produce lipase enzyme that hydrolyzes triglycerides in the sebum to produce free fatty acids and glycerols. Acne causes variety of flaws like blackheads, whiteheads, pimples, nodules and cysts. What happened? Now we have discussed just earlier also. Now what happened? The sebaceous glands are more active. The oil is being accumulated. The dry dead cells are also accumulated in the pores, and the pore is blocked. Okay, and it forms a acne. So when bacteria is also present, the bacteria in that environment, they keeps on multiplying. When they keeps on multiplying, they causes inflammation over there. Okay. Accumulation of sebum encourages proliferation of anaerobic bacteria. This is the name of the bacteria, Propionibacterium acne and Staphylococcus albus. So this bacteria is present over there and it keeps on multiplying. Bacteria produces lipase enzyme that hydrolyzes triglycerides in the sebum. Because sebum is containing triglyceride, the bacteria is producing an enzyme. That enzyme, what they do is it hydrolyzes that triglycerides and it produces the free fatty acids and the cholesterol. Acne causes variety of flows. If acne is occurring, it causes blackheads, it causes whiteheads, pimples, nodules and cysts. These all will discuss in later in the session only. And it affects 80% of the teenagers and many adults due to hormonal changes. Due to hormonal changes, this acne is also take place. The causes is heat, humidity, UV light, cosmetics, excessive use of surfactants is also causing this. Okay. Stress may abrogate skin by triggering the release of androgen and cortisol. I will just tell you about this because due to hormonal factors, what happens is stress it triggers the release of androgen and cortisols. When this release of androgen and cortisol is triggered, it stimulates the oil production and the dead cells are mixed with it, and it finally promotes to the growth of acne by the multiplication of the bacteria. Okay. This is the acne life cycle. This is stage 1. Stage 1 mein what happens is clogged pores. Cell linings, what the cells keep on shedding, they mix with the excess of sebum and they block the pores. This is the clogged pore, stage 1. After that, accumulated sebum is there, dead cells is there, they attract the bacteria which is naturally found in the skin, and that bacteria it feeds on the oil and it's multiply rapidly inside the skin. This is the stage 2. After that, when the bacteria keep on multiplying and it is residing over there, third stage is the inflammation stage. This bacterial overgrowth, when it is overgrowth, it triggers the natural inflammation response. It triggers a natural inflammatory response of the body and it causes swelling and hardness, which ultimately leads to discoloration and scarring. Okay, here is a picture shown. This is the oil gland. Here is the germs causing infections over there. This is, and after that it inflammate and pus is being started accumulating over there in the acne. Okay, here are the types of acne. First is the papule, pustule, nodule and cyst. I have just mentioned it in the previous slide also. Papule, it is a small red raised bump around the hair follicle. Okay, the small red bump is formed around the hair follicle. Next is the pustule. Pustule is a red bump with white pus or the white head we can say at its tip. Next is the nodule. Nodule is an infection or blockage deep within the hair follicle that causes a solid closed bump under the skin. Now nodule reaches the under the skin also. And the cyst is formed. It is a painful closed lump under the skin and it is filled with pus. It is filled with pus like a nodule. Now nodule is also under the skin, but in the case of cyst it is filled with the pus. These are the types of acne. You can see in the pictures the nodule, the pustule, the blackhead, the papules and the whiteheads. Next is the pigmentation. Pigmentation means coloring. And all of you know, we have discussed this on the earlier also, the skin gets its color from the pigment called melanin. Okay. The pigmentation occurs due to the deposition of melanin which is produced by specialized cells called melanocytes, and these melanocytes were present in the where? In the basilar layer, stratum basilar layer of the epidermis. Melanocytes were present now with melanosomes and transferred it to the keratinocytes. So here is a picture depicting the pigmentations, you can see. So here is the normal and the suntan skin. You can see what happens here. The this is the cuticle, this is the epidermis. Here are the melanocytes from the basilar layer secreting the melanin. Okay. Now what happens in this, when the UV rays of the sun reaches the keratinocytes and the melanocytes, there is an increase in the production of melanin which causes the sun tanning. Here are the types of pigmentations. hyperpigmentations and hypopigmentations. We'll discuss it one by one. First is the freckles. Freckles, it is the most common type of pigmentation. So generally it occurs, the most common type of pigmentation, and it is also known as phthalates. What happens in this? A circular spot, usually a tan or a light brown color का spot जो है, it occurs, and they appear dark during the sunny months and fade in the winters. When summers are there, it becomes dark, and as the temperature lowers down and winters arises, it fades in the winter season. After that, they develop after repeated exposure to sunlight, particularly if one have fair complexion. Somebody is fair in complexion and he is repeatedly going into the sunlight, they develop some freckles, and they develop majorly on the nose. Nose area is affected to the freckles. You can see. It is a picture of freckles. Lentigo or the solar lentiline sunspots, इनको हम also called as that sunspots. They are also termed as liver spots also. Usually their color may vary from light brown to black. Sometimes dark brown is also there. These spots are caused by UV rays exposure from the sun. When the exposure of UV rays is from the sun, these spots are caused, which is known as lentigo, and we also call it as liver spots also. And people with lighter skin tone are said to be more prone to sun. Similarly, last slide की तरह ही है कि the people who are having the fair complexions or you are having the lighter skin tones, they are more prone to sunspots. Okay. Next is the these must be monitored as they may develop into the skin cancers and melasma. Melasma I will discuss with you in the next slide. So this is the picture. Next is the post-inflammatory pigmentation. It is a response to injury of skin and can be result of acne, burn or infection. Sometimes acne occurs, okay, a burn is there. So it is the response in injury of the skin which is result due to acne. These condition increases the production of pigments that causes dark spot. When acne is there, the pigment production is increased, due to which dark spot occurs, and this is known as the post-inflammatory pigmentation. This type of pigmentation results in tan, brown or black color to the skin. This type of post-inflammatory pigmentation, it gives brown color, black color to the skin, and it can be caused due to some effects of cosmetics also. Laser treatment, somebody is going for the laser treatment or combination therapy or chemotherapies. These post-inflammatory pigmentation, they occurs due to these reasons also. You can see in the picture. There are two types of post-inflammatory pigmentation. One is on the upper surface, that is the epidermal surface. Second is the dermal surface पे होता है. तो in case of epidermal surface, it can tan. It can cause the skin to become brown or dark brown in color, and it takes months and years to get rid of it because it is the epidermal layer, and it takes years and months to get rid of it. But if it reaches the inner layer, okay, if it reaches the dermal layer, and it can blush, it can be bluish gray in color, and it may be permanent if it is left untreated. If it is not treated on time, it will left untreated, then it will become a permanent. Melasma, it is a pigmentation deeper in the skin dermis and common among the people with darker skin tone. Okay? It is common among the people which are having the dark skin tone. It appears on the face as large brown patches with a non-distinct border. Dark brown patches are there and are not having any border. The discrimination is not there. It is caused due to increased sun exposure when the person is repeatedly working in the exposure to sun. The mechanism is probably involved the overproduction of melanin by hyperfunctional melanocytes. Okay, because they are working in the sun, the melanocytes become active, they releases the more melanin, and the dark spots or brown patches, they are formed on the skin. This pigmentation is known as the melasma. Okay, usually appears across the upper cheeks, forehead, upper lips and the chin areas. You can see. This is the picture of the melasma. Next is the vitiligo. Vitiligo, it is a type of hyperpigmentation disorder. You may have experiences this sort of people around yourself. Some are suffering from leukoderma and all. It is an acquired pigmentary anomaly of the skin which is characterized by depigmented patches around the normal border. Okay, these lesions are hypersensitive to UV lights and burn easily when exposed to sun. And basically they are caused due to genetic factors, autoimmune hypothesis and neurogenic hypothesis. You have seen you nearby people nearby yourself suffering from leukoderma. Here is the picture. The white spots they occur, and they are sometimes they are genetic also. Okay. So if you are in the picture, you can see what this cell, the melanin is less over here, and the light spot which develops on the skin, and this is due to the hyperpigmentation of the skin. Next is the prickly heat. Prickly heat, it is also called as the heat rash or miliaria. Miliaria, it is very common during summer seasons in the hot humid climates. It is itchy inflammation of superficial layers of the skin, typically with the rash of small vesicle common in hot and humid weather. It is an itchy smile, inflammatory. People get itchy in this prickly heat. What happens? There are red bumps on the skin and itchy or prickly feeling on the skin. Itchy and prickly. Somebody used in the summers, maximum people have this prickly heat problem. Heat rash is common in summer months, particularly in the humid climates. These conditions are usually self-limited and resolves in hour to few days days without a treatment. Without a treatment, or you are applying some powders, some Nycil powders in the house, it becomes okay. Any body parts can be affected, majorly face, neck, back, abdomen, elbow folds and groin areas. They are affected by the prickly heat. Here are the pictures of the prickly heat. What are the causes of prickly heat? This prickly heat, if we talk about the previous, we have discussed the acnes, they were due to the sebaceous gland. Okay, but these prickly heat, this is caused due to the trap of the sweat glands, because sweat glands are also present over there. When the body is hot, the sweat glands, they become active and they produce more and more sweat on the skin. And when the body is kept in the warm state, because summers are there, it is kept in the warm state, then the constant sweat production can overload the sweat gland. Matlab, sweat gland is producing more and more sweat and it gets overloaded with the sweat itself. This can cause the sweat glands to get blocked by trapping sweat in deep layers with the help of bacteria, because bacteria, as we have discussed earlier, bacteria are present in the skin only. This trapped sweat irritates the skin, forming the rash on the skin. Sweat glands become active, they become they secrete more and more sweat. That sweat they trap and it irritates the skin and it forms a rash on the skin. The most common trigger for prickly heat is the exposure to heat for the long night. The most common cause of this prickly heat is the more time you are exposing yourself to the heat or for a long time in the sun and all. So this is a causes. There are some types of heat rashes. Clear Miliaria crystallina, red Miliaria rubra, white yellow Miliaria postula and deep Miliaria profunda. So this is the clear. It is sometimes called Miliaria pseudamina. This happens when the blockage of the sweat gland occur at closer to the surface of the skin. Okay, when it is closer to the surface of the skin, this blockage occurs. The rash is like a tiny spot or a bead of sweat. In this, it is less itchy, or you can say no itch at all, and they disappears within few hours or few days. Okay. Next is the red is the Miliaria rubra. It is the most common type and it is caused when the blockage of sweat ducts occur at deeper parts of the outer layer of the skin. Means on the epidermis. Okay, these rash occur within days of coming into hot climate. When you are having a coming into the hot climate, these rashes occur, and this rashes does not appear until weeks and months have passed in the hot climates. Okay, the rashes tend to go within days, and if you get out of the hot environment and stop sweating, they automatically on the effect of affected area, the skin is the reduced amount of sweat or no sweat at all. Matlab, what happens in this, there is a blockage of the sweat duct. Okay, when you are going to the hot climate, the sweat glands are active, but when you are coming back, it is okay, the sweat glands are no more active and they are secreting no more sweat or the no sweat at all. Next is the white or yellow. In this type, the bumps on the yellow skin becomes infected with the bacteria living on the skin surface. Okay, the fluid inside the bumps contain the pus. Now this is a condition, miliaria pustulosa, and what happens in this, the bumps, they are now filled with the pus. This is a quite irritating condition where in case of prickly heat. Last is the deep. It is uncommon and it is caused when the blockage of sweat ducts occur at the level of middle layer of the skin. Now this is deep. Now this uncommon and is caused by now sweat glands are both in the middle of the dermis. Now the conditions become quite chronic over here. Okay, it is typically occurs in people who are living in hot climate and repeatedly they are having the miliaria rubra. Miliaria rubra is common, but when they are having repeatedly this problem now develops into the deep, that is miliaria profunda. You can see in the pictures. Next is the wrinkles. Wrinkles are known as rhytides. It is a fold ridge or crease on the skin. You have seen the wrinkles. Wrinkles on the skin is promoted by habitual facial expression. Aging is the most common cause of wrinkles. Poor hydration, when your skin is not properly hydrated, so it is advised to take antioxidants. You have to take repeatedly more intake of oral liquids, or sometimes smoking also causes wrinkles. Sun damages the skin, then this is also one of the cause of the wrinkles. Wrinkles are formed when the skin loses its elasticity. Now the skin, as we have discussed in the dermis, there were elastin and collagen fibers. So as with the passage of age, time age बढ़ती है, the skin loses its elasticity and it loses its elastin and collagen fiber, which is one of the cause of wrinkles. Okay, skin retains lines resulting from smiling and other facial expression over the time. These lines deepen into the face and forms a wrinkle. When the person smiles, the wrinkles, they appears, the expression, the facial expression shows that the wrinkles appears on the face. The first wrinkle appears in the weak skin tissue around the eyes, cheek and around the lips. Around the eyes, the wrinkles appears, around the cheeks and around the lips, the wrinkles appear. The causes are aging, smoking, exposure to sunlight and repeated facial expressions. In the picture you can see the person is having wrinkles on his face, around the cheeks, around the lips, around the eyes. Next is the body odor. Body odor, it is perceived unpleasant smell that can give when bacteria present on the skin breaks down the sweat into acid. Because in summer season, sweat glands become active, they are secreting more and more sweat. The bacteria present on the skin, what it do, it breaks the sweat into acid, and that acid is for having a foul odor. Body odor is caused by the combination of sweat and bacteria normally found. It is a combination of both, the combination of sweat as well as of the bacteria. So these are the some causes of excessive sweating. First is the emotional factors like anxiety, stress, embarrassment. It leads to excessive sweat secretion. Okay. Sometimes you are taking medications. Okay. And sometimes you are having fever. In that fever you are taking some COX inhibitors also, then this is one of the reason you are having sweats. Illness is one of the reason. And heredity, some people are having heredity कि उनको sweating बहुत ज़्यादा होती है, this is a one of the hereditary cause. So these are some causes of the heredity as heavy sweating. You can see in the picture somebody is in the picture that is it's a sweating in the socks, sweating while going into the sunlight. Okay, it's a sweating in different in the sweating pads are available. Sweating pads are available in order to stop the this perspiration, or you can use against this. So this picture depicts the different sources where the sweating occurs in the body. Any questions? If any questions, I would like to answer your questions. Thank you so much.